Good morning and welcome. It is 8 o'clock. It is the 20th day of October 2021. It is a bright, sunny, cold, crisp, sleepy Wednesday morning, and I am your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, controversy, and thought issues, or whatever you want to call them. The OGGM! Broadcasting live from Ventura, California, still waiting to be saved. It's Wednesday, which means it's time to take a look at what's going on in the world of tabletop role-playing game printing of things. So the following products should be, but probably won't be, but should be on the shelf at your friendly local game store. That's Cess Games and Anime here in Ventura by this Friday. But again, because of the ship-pocalypse and all the issues with shippings, that's SHIP, not SHIT, apocalypse, and all the issues that we're having with shipping, this is all tentative, and we cannot guarantee that these titles will be available for you this week. But we're trying our best. And of course, let me take you a moment again to remind you that several retailers are asking you to do all your Thanksgiving and Christmas shopping now, because we cannot guarantee the products will be available come Christmas time. So buy your Thanksgiving turkey now, because the market shelves are empty. All right, here we go. From Draco System for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, we have Elderous Century. 2 hardcovers of the slipcase for $90, a post-apocalyptic alternate history world starting in 1918 Europe. The world has been consumed by a miasma, a thick fog that corrupts everything. By the year 1984, the world has changed. 6 powerful factions threatening each other and fighting the coldest war, which includes Elderous monsters. So basically a steampunk, diesel punk, Cthulhu punk, alternate history of Elderous horrors invading the earth type thing for 5th edition. From Legendary Games, we have Ultimate Kingdoms, Kingdom Event cards, and Primal Advanced Spell cards. These are Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and Pathfinder 2nd edition cards. Each deck is going to run you about $20. The Kingdom Event cards features dozens of beneficial and dangerous special kingdom events, from carnivals and smugglers to inquisitions or assassinations attempts. And the Primal Advanced Spell cards includes all the primal spells from 3rd level to 10th level. I don't know what primal spells are. Are those druid spells or something in Pathfinder? Whatever. It's a spell cards, which are always great. Help you if you don't want to flip through the pages of the book to find the spell. You've just got this stack of 3x5 cards. You can put them in sleeves like magic cards and just have them ready for when you need. So I really like things like that. From Wavering Games, we have Stargate Sg1 Rpg. Oh, this is not a surprise. This is the latest version of the Stargate Sg1 role-playing game. There have been previous ones. This one is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition inspired system. It's going to run you $60, and you play characters who are part of one of the Stargate teams. From Goodman Games for Dungeon Crawl Classics and Dungeon Crawl Classics Lancamar, we have The Greatest Thieves in Lancamar. This is a $60 box set adventure featuring adventures in the most famous city in the history of fantasy, and you play thieves and scoundrels and adventurers wandering around in Lancamar, getting up to all sorts of shenanigans. From Studio 9 Games for Dungeon Crawl Classics and Mutant Crawl Classics, we have a softcover module for $10 called Welcome to Eastwood. The PC stumble upon a strange village that mysteriously appears overnight, and then you have to survive the madness that infests Eastwood. Sorry, I'm drinking a lot. I'm really dehydrated today. From Skeeter Green Productions, we have Crypt of the Science Wizard for Dungeon Crawl Classic and Mutant Crawl Classic. This is a $30 adventure for first-level characters who find the lost crypt of Careste. So standard low-level adventure crawl embracing the weirdness of Dungeon Crawl Classic and Mutant Crawl Classic. From Pinnacle for Deadlands, we have a hardcover adventure for $90 called Blood Drive, an old-fashioned cattle drive from hell. This also features some cards, stand-ups, some maps. So, yeah, it's got a lot of cool stuff. It's Deadlands, which is a great setting. And you get to do sort of a cattle drive, but with the twisted take of its Deadlands. So it's a Weird West. From Son of Oak for City of Mist, we have a $45 adventure called Shadows and Showdowns. In the city, PCs are neo-noir rifts, a mix of mundane citizens and legendaries mists whose powers are cloaked by the mist. The supplement unravels what lies behind the mist, more about the City of the Mist and the other stuff. So City of the Mist is sort of a superhero role-playing game, kind of. Alternate history, weirdness, pulp fiction type of thing, if you're not familiar with it. So this seems to be a expansion to the previously released City of Mist stuff, which goes further into the stuff that makes up the City of Mist with additional powers and stuff like that. From Cool Mini or Not, we have Zombie Chronicles Field Guide for the forthcoming Zombie Chronicles role-playing game. This is a hardcover rulebook / GM starter kit. It's $25, which will add all sorts of new stuff to the forthcoming Zombie Chronicles field role-playing game. Blah. From Possum Creek Games, we have Wander Home. This is a hardcover rulebook for the Diceless GM Belonging Outside Belonging engine. What is the Belonging Outside Belonging engine? Anyways, it's a personal fantasy role-playing game. You're traveling animal folk who explore the world and the seasons and do stuff. Doesn't require dice, doesn't require a GM, so it's basically an interactive storytelling experiment for you and some other people using the Belonging Outside Belonging engine. I'll look into that to see what that is. From Genesis of Legend, we have SIG, City of Blades. This is for Forged in the Dark. This is a hardcover rulebook for $50 where you play adventurers in the City of Blades using the Forged in the Dark system, which is based upon the Blades in the Dark role-playing game. A lot of games seem to be using this system lately, though I have not heard anything good about the Blades in the Dark system. So, anyways, there's another chance to play scoundrels in a fantasy setting, doing fantasy city scoundrel-y type stuff. Freeport did it first. Yeah, and of course also on the shelves this week we will have Witchlight, and possibly Fizzbins will be out this Friday. Then again, possibly not, as Wizards of the Coast has announced delays to the shipping. So, yeah, not much coming out this week, this close to the holidays. That is kind of a surprise, but again, remember, everything has been delayed. We don't have any new information on the new Critical Role game that's supposed to be out this year. Nor why it wasn't announced previously. We have made some speculations about that on separate blogs, but we're not going to get into it now. That is everything that's coming out supposedly by the end of this week and should be on the shelves of your friendly local game store. That's Cess Games and Anime here in Ventura. So why don't you run on down and support one of those stores and see if they can get those for you or not, because they will have more information on the shipping issues than I do. We will continue to follow the shipping issue story as it continues to affect the tabletop role-playing game industry and pretty much everything else, especially with Black Friday coming up. Till then, I am your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and sports, asking you to take a moment to subscribe to my vlog or support me through one of the many ways you can support me. Until then, have a great day, stay warm, stay dry, and stay off my land.